Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise for our national anthem, led by Allison Evans, Harley Cooper, Seth Whalen, and Wesley Carmen, students in the Department of Theater and Dance.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please welcome Dean Molly Tammy, Associate Dean for Student Services, Chase College of Law, to the podium.
Please be seated. Distinguished guests, family, and friends of the Chase graduating class of 2013, welcome to the 41st annual commencement of Northern Kentucky University and the 118th commencement of Salmon P. Chase College of Law. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce the distinguished individuals on the platform. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Sarah L. Sidebottom, Vice President for Legal Affairs and General Counsel. Gerard Sanamon, Vice President for University Advancement. Peter Gattau, Vice President for Student Affairs. Sue Hodges-Moore, Vice President for Planning, Policy, and Budget. J. David Bender, President of the NKU Foundation. Katie Hershedy, Executive Assistant to the President and Secretary to the NKU Board of Regents. Brenda Wilson, Member of the NKU Board of Regents. Martin Butler, Member of the NKU Board of Regents. Dr. Jacqueline S. Emmerine, Member of the NKU Board of Regents. Stephen Meyer, Member of the NKU Board of Regents. Lawrence Rosenthal, Associate Dean for Academics. David Spalding, Treasurer of the Chase Alumni Association. David McKnight, Associate Dean for Advancement. Michael Whiteman, Associate Dean for Law Library Services and Information Technology. Jennifer Anglem Crater, Associate Dean for Faculty Development and Professor of Law. Dr. Gail W. Wells, Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost, Northern Kentucky University. Jeffrey S. Mearns, President, Northern Kentucky University. Dennis Honnebach, Dean, Chase College of Law. W. Bruce Lunsford, Commencement Speaker and Honorary Degree recipient. Terry L. Mann, Chair, NKU Board of Regents. Justice Michelle Keller, Kentucky Supreme Court Justice. Karen Ogburn, Associate Dean for Administration. Larry Putt, Professor of Law and Grand Marshal. Please recognize the platform party. Members of the class of 2013, congratulations. This is a great day for you and indeed for all of us. We are extremely proud of you and we are honored to share this momentous occasion with you. This great day for you, the class of 2013, was made possible, no doubt, by your hard work and dedication over many years. I am certain, however, that you agree. Your achievements would not have been possible without the enormous support of many others, many of whom are with us today to help you celebrate. Let's take a moment to recognize these many supporters of you, our graduates. Will the parents of our graduates please stand and be recognized? Thank you. Also sharing this day with us are many grandparents. Will all grandparents of our graduates please stand and be recognized? Thank you. Many of our graduates have families of their own. Will the spouses, children, and partners of our graduates please stand and be recognized? Thank you. On behalf of our graduates and the entire Chase College of Law family, I thank all of you for your invaluable support to members of the Chase graduating class of 2013. It is now my honor to introduce the Honorable Michelle Keller. She is a 1990 graduate of the Chase College of Law. Justice Keller was recently appointed Justice to the Supreme Court of Kentucky and is the first Chase graduate to serve on the Supreme Court. Please join me in welcoming Justice Keller to the podium.
Congratulations and good evening, graduates, family, friends, President Mearns, Dr. Wells, members of the Board of Regents, Dean Hannebach, distinguished faculty and staff of the Chase College of Law, and other special guests on the platform. Thank you so much for inviting me to speak for just a moment this evening. I have the honor of bringing greetings from Chief Justice Minton, Justices Abramson, Scott, Noble, Venters, Cunningham, and myself. I wish you all the best. You are about to enter one of the noblest professions. You have all earned the ability and the privilege to do great good in the world. Godspeed, and welcome to the practice of law.
Good evening. I am Gail Wells, Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost, and I would like to add my congratulations to our newest law graduates. You should be very proud of what you have accomplished, and I know you will agree that our dedicated law faculty played an important role in your success. This faculty brings academic credentials from some of the most prestigious universities in the world. Many have achieved distinction on the state, national, and international stage through their accomplishments. The importance of their commitment to providing you with a strong legal education cannot be overstated. Please join me in thanking our faculty. Faculty, will you please stand and let us thank you. Thank you. As you know, this is Dean Dennis Hannebach's last commencement as Dean. He will be returning to the faculty. I want to take this opportunity to thank Dean Hannebach for his 7 years of valuable, visionary, and productive leadership of the Salmon P. Chase College of Law. His accomplishments as Dean are too numerous for me to mention, to list them all, but let me just mention a few. He was instrumental in the creation of a variety of centers to provide Chase students with practical skills that will serve you well as you move into your careers. These include, for example, the Center for Excellence in Advocacy, the Transactional Law Practice Center, and the Chase Law and Informatics Institute. He has emphasized the importance of giving Chase students experiential opportunities to apply what they were learning in the classroom. Under his leadership, the college adopted a requirement for pro bono work, and the number of experiential opportunities was greatly increased. He hired strong faculty, and as you well know, they are critical to the quality of your education. I know that Dennis Hannebach would never take sole credit for these and other accomplishments, but I also know that he played a strong and important leadership role in each of them. As he returns to the faculty, he is leaving the administration of the college very well positioned for the new dean. A number of Chase alumni, faculty members, and friends of the law school have made contributions to honor Dean Hanebach upon the occasion of his move from dean to faculty. In recognition of his vision in establishing Chase's Center for Excellence and knowing his particular passion for transactional law, those gifts will establish the Dennis R. Hanebach Endowed Scholarship Fund in Transactional Law. This scholarship will provide support for one or more law students who have expressed an interest in and a commitment to the study of transactional law and who actively participate in the activities of the Transactional Law Practice Center. The scholarship will be awarded to students in their final year of law school, third year for full-time and fourth year for part-time, and additional contributions for this new scholarship fund will continue to be welcome. Given his focus on student success and transactional law, I can think of no better way to document his legacy of excellence as Dean of the Chase College of Law. Congratulations, Dennis, on this great honor. Please join me in expressing our thanks to Dennis Hanebach and congratulating him for his valuable contributions to the Chase College of Law.
To be asked to speak right now is difficult. I didn't know that was coming, and I want to thank all of you for that recognition. And as Provost Wells indicated, I didn't do any of that alone. There's a lot of heavy lifting by a lot of people, and I do appreciate all of the help that we've received, and so thank you very, very much. But this evening's really about not me, but about you, our graduates. This is a terrific day, right? You know, we can lighten up. The tough stuff's over. It's a glorious ceremony. We get to congratulate your parents, your families, your partners, your children, your grandparents, all the individuals who've made everything that's happening, coming to fruition today, possible. And I just want to offer you 3 simple pieces of advice. First, celebrate. Celebrate like crazy. The study of law is no small challenge. You've worked hard. You've studied long hours. You've shared times of exhaustion, pangs of anxiety, and periods of frustration. And yet you've persevered. And in doing so, you have earned the honor and recognition you will soon receive. All of us congratulate you. My second point, reflect. What have you learned these past few years? What will you make of the knowledge and the skills you have acquired at Chase? What are you going to do to make a positive contribution to society, to your community, and to the legal profession? Each of you is going to answer those questions differently. But I believe we can all agree that here at Chase, you have begun to become a lawyer. I emphasize the phrase, you have begun to become a lawyer. You and I know that you're not yet finished with your study of law. Indeed, no lawyer ever finishes his or her study of the law. The greatness of our legal system is its ability to continue to evolve to meet the needs of an ever-changing world. In a short time that you've been here, you've built the foundation for a career of learning and service. But you must continue to grow. You must continue to learn. We on the faculty are confident that you are well prepared to take the next steps in your career. And trust me, we look forward to sharing your successes, to learning of your achievements. And I can look at the folks that I know and I can tell you, and I can tell all of you in the audience, there will be many achievements. And my last point, serve. You have enormous potential. Ahead of you lay many opportunities. Seize them. Use your skills and talents to do well the most important work that you will ever confront. Enjoy your successes and learn from your mistakes. Lend aid to those who need your help. Stand firm in resisting those who would manipulate the law to serve their own selfish interest. Kindle in yourself and in others a deep respect for the rule of law, a respect that is tempered by an unabiding passion for justice. In a few minutes, you will become a graduate of the Chase College of Law. Be proud of that accomplishment. Serve our profession and our great law school well in that grand tradition established by the many Chase graduates in whose footsteps you will follow. The practice of law will challenge you, and you can attempt to meet those challenges alone. I advise you not to do so. The road you face is difficult, and its traps are many. Find a mentor. Find someone who can help guide you along the way. Someone who can point you in the right direction if you ever find yourself tempted or forced to ignore your moral compass. Finding that kind of an individual isn't easy. But I can tell you there are many out there who would be willing to serve. I can think of no better example of the kind of individual who can and would serve as a mentor than your commencement speaker today, W. Bruce Lunsford. A 1974 graduate of the Chase College of Law, Bruce Lunsford is the quintessential self-made man. Raised on a farm in rural Kenton County, he studied at the University of Kentucky, graduating in 1969 with a degree in accounting. After beginning his accounting career, he recognized the importance of earning a law degree and enrolled at Chase as a part-time evening student. To no one's surprise, he excelled. He excelled despite the challenge of balancing the roles of law student, husband, father, and full-time employee. I can look out there and I can see a number of our evening students who face the same challenges. He is one of you. Today, he is the chairman and a chief executive officer of Lunsford Capital, a Louisville-based investment firm. Along the way, he practiced law, beginning with Keating Buting Camp here in Cincinnati. Then in 1980, he was tapped by Governor John Y. Brown to serve as Kentucky's Commerce Secretary. After returning to practice, he joined the firm of Greenbaum, Dow, and McDonald in Lexington. And he would have been a superb lawyer there. But he could not restrain that entrepreneurial instinct that glowed within him. He founded Vencare, which is a company that he would eventually grow into a Fortune 500 company. And he's since become involved in a number of other successful business ventures, including the movie and equine industries. In sum, W. Bruce Lunsford has earned an exemplary record of significant achievements in law and business at the national and international level. And he's demonstrated a deep commitment to the support of higher education. He has earned high distinction as a successful business leader, practicing attorney, government servant, and educational advocate. He is an excellent role model for you, and we at Chase are immensely proud to call him one of our own. It is therefore with great pride that I present your commencement speaker, Mr. W. Bruce Lunsford. Thank you, Dean. Appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Well, I was not expecting that lengthy of an introduction because much of that is just in the day-to-day of living for me. I've enjoyed my life. It's been great. But you have a lot to look forward to. It's been 39 years since I graduated from here. Terry Mann and I want you to know, he was a young state rep when I went to work for John Y., and we developed a bond then that still lasts today. And those are the things that I've been very fortunate about in my life to get to do. I've got to see people who came back to my life in other ways for other reasons. Many of you will come back together. I do share a little bond here today because not only am I a Chase graduate, I am a parent of 3 daughters, and I'm a grandfather of 5. And knowing what all of you have gone through, I will say this before I really get started: make sure you hug every one of them in your life. They're really important, and you will not be sorry later that you did that. So anyway, to get started, let me say this. I want to bring a little levity here because this is going to be a beginning of your celebration. I was always an admirer, and some of the older people here will remember this. Jim Murray was a sports writer. He wrote for the Los Angeles Times. At one time, had the largest number of syndication columns in the United States. And he was a man who faced great difficulty in his life. He became pretty much blind at the second part of his life. He remembered sports because he remembered what was important about sports, not just the game, not just the score, but the heart and all the work and the effort and the personalities that went into it. But one of his great attributes was how much he could say with just a few words. And so I use him because I know I have just a limited time to do that myself. He was a guy who changed the Indianapolis 500 and the safety rules with a simple 4-word thing that said, "Gentlemen, start your coffins." He had the line that I love the best that he ever used. I'm a big boxing fan over the years, probably because I was a kid and I got to see Muhammad Ali fight. And he did something that made a lot of people proud. He was also, as many of you know, a very strong man in fighting for rights, much like Jackie Robinson. But he did it with a different style. But later on, as the game changed, there was a fellow named Mike Tyson was a champion. Mike did not necessarily bring the kind of luster to the game that Ali did. But he fought a guy by the name of Buster Douglas one night. And Buster was a journeyman fighter. At 250 to 1 odds, he beat Mike Tyson. And part of the reason he beat him is because he could take a punch and he could get back up. And Tyson had not fought a fight in over 2 years that lasted more than a round. So by the 5th round, Tyson was exhausted, and Buster Douglas won the fight. So he had the opportunity of a lifetime, and by standing on his feet and staying up, He accomplished his goal. But later, after having so much thrust upon him with success, he then began to live as if he had accomplished everything he wanted to accomplish. Didn't show a lot of discipline. So when he had to finally defend this title, he fought a guy by the name of Evander Holyfield, who might have been the fittest fighter that ever walked in the ring. And the way Jim Murray described the start of the fight was, he looked up and he said he saw Evander Holyfield, and he said he looked like a Greek god. And then he looked at Buster Douglas and said he looked like a Greek restaurant. So I want you to know you will get opportunities like Buster Douglas. They will come your way. And the purpose for the story is to say to you, when they come, seize the moment. Seize it. You may change your direction. It may not be what you planned. It may be something different than you ever thought about doing. That happened to me. I never planned anything that happened in my life other than to get off the farm. I'd had all the farm I wanted by the time I was 17 years old. And my dad told me if I had to come home from college, I would be stuck there the rest of my life. And not that I enjoyed studying that much, but I sure didn't want to go back to that farm. And going through college, going to Chase, I thought I had found my dream opportunity. I went to work with Keating, Muthing, and Kleekamp in Cincinnati with some of the finest people I've ever been associated with in my life. And I go back so far that Paul Muthing, who's now the managing partner, was a clerk in the office at the time. And there were some stellar performers in that firm. Many went on to do a lot of things, many of which just became really, really good lawyers. And from that, one opportunity after another seemed to come to me. If you ever read the book Outliers, much of life is about what happens when you're making plans. Sometimes it's not good, but sometimes it's very good. And almost every major change I made in life, it turned out to be something I'm glad I did. And I have gotten to do things that I never dreamed I'd get to do. I built 3 public companies. You'll be happy to know that the last one has a lawyer as the CEO, and she's now one of the 50 most powerful women in business in the United States. You'll also be happy to know for the females in this class, because there weren't many of those in my class, that both the general counsels and that CEO were all women. So there is hope in this world today for you that many years ago, for your mothers and your grandmothers, didn't have as easy an opportunity to fit in those areas that you do. It's really changed, and it's changed for the better. I have 3 daughters. Don't think I don't want to see them get all the opportunities they can. One of which is a lawyer by training, really well educated. She went to Virginia, she went to Yale, she went to the University of Cincinnati. And you'll be happy to know that today she runs a truly successful yoga studio. And she's much happier than she would have been doing any of the other 3 things. And she makes more money than she did practicing law. So I would say to you that that's the kind of opportunities that you want to look for, that bring out your passion. And I feel the same way about my grandchildren. I want to see them have those opportunities as well. And I think all of you in this room, the students, the mothers, fathers, the grandparents, you all relate to what I'm saying. And I think it's important for you to understand that you carry a great deal of responsibility as a lawyer. You carry responsibility to make it a profession that stands above others. From it, you produce judges. You produce outstanding lawyers. You produce people who go into business. You produce those who go into education. We haven't had commissioners of baseball that were lawyers. You can be anything as a lawyer. You can even be the president of Northern Kentucky University. And that's the kind of opportunities not many educations give you. But I want you to think about the standard you want to set. Tonight, when you're around with your parents and your grandparents, think of it as a moment in your life you will never get to relive again. You will never get to relive this celebration of this graduation with those in that room with you. And time does take its toll. Enjoy every single moment. And try to build a record and a reputation that you would be proud for everybody in that room to see. That'll be important to you someday. Because we've had things happen in the legal profession the last several years I thought I'd never see happen. We've had prominent, successful lawyers do things that make me shake my head. It almost amazes me to the extent money and greed enter the law profession with those that are successful. If you're a good lawyer and you work hard and you keep your client uppermost in mind and you think about what's the honest thing to do, you won't have to worry about making a living. There will be plenty of opportunities to make a living. And along someday, somebody will come up that you actually served as a lawyer and will say, I really like to have you more in my life. I'd like to have you working for me. I'd like to have you be a partner with me. You'll be surprised when you look back 20 years at how many things you had a chance to do. Some of them you did, some of them you didn't. But you will be able to judge yourself. And I'll leave this with saying to you, as you build that record, mine's on a piece of paper of accomplishments. I don't really think about those things. I think about the fact that I can go to bed at night and sleep well. I think about the fact that I do believe my 3 daughters are proud of me. I do think about those things. And you want to have that kind of feeling when you get older and look back at what you've done. You don't want to be like Mad Dog Miller. Mad Dog Miller was a lawyer in East Tennessee. And Mad Dog didn't make many friends in his life. Mad Dog was pretty unscrupulous, somewhat dishonest, and had a very difficult time finding anybody the day he passed away to be at his funeral. But the preacher who stood up to speak had never passed someone on to the hereafter without saying something good about him. And he kept thinking, and he kept thinking, and he couldn't come up with anything. So he finally looked out in the audience, of which consisted of 4 people. And one of them was Jake, the local drunk. And he said, Jake, you've known Mad Dog your entire life. Surely you can tell us something good about him. And he stood up and said, well, his brother was worse. So when you get done with your legal career and you're thinking about what they'll say later, you don't want to be like Mad Dog Miller. And I look out here and I don't see anybody here that looks like they're that type. And I enjoyed meeting many of you today and many of you last night. And I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed this trip back home. It's been an exhilarating experience for me. Good luck. Do the best you can. Thank you very much.
Harvard was the first university to confer honorary degrees in 1692. Since then, it has become a recognized function of degree-granting institutions. Honorary degrees are an opportunity for universities to single out people who have made contributions to society. Today's honorary degree is presented to Mr. W. Bruce Lunsford. Mr. Lunsford, will you join us, please? The Northern Kentucky University Board of Regents hereby confers the honorary degree of Doctor of Laws upon W. Bruce Lunsford in recognition of his exceptional leadership and his distinguished service in the legal and business fields at the national and international levels, his demonstrated commitment to higher education, and his strong support of the Chase College of Law. His exemplary leadership and service in law, business, and higher education embodies our College of Law's vision of increased public engagement to the benefit of the legal and business professions and to society at large. Done on this 11th day of May, 2013, in testimony whereof we have affixed to this document our signatures and the seal of Northern Kentucky University.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Mr. President, it is a pleasure and a privilege to present the men and women who have successfully completed the rigorous requirements for the degree of Juris Doctor.
Will the candidates please stand? And it is now my privilege to confer the degrees. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Kentucky through the Board of Regents of Northern Kentucky University, I confer upon you the degree of Juris Doctor. I now declare you a graduate of the Salmon P. Chase College of Law of Northern Kentucky University. Congratulations upon your professional achievements.
Peter Ackerman. Jonathan Adkins. Nicholas J. Allig. Bradley Max Andrus. Elizabeth E. Barlick. Joseph Batuli. Julie Marie Barreley. John William Beecham. Nathan J. Becht. John L. Besignano. Jared T. Bewley. Kristen Lee Boggs. Lauren Amelia Booth. Brittany N. Bourne. Jesse D. Bowman. Christopher T. Brand. Ian E. Brewer. Michael S. Brill. Nicholas S. Brinkman. Corey D. Britt. Crystal Lynn Brown. Ashley N. Brucato. Eric Thomas Butler. Lindsay E. Campbell. Lindsay A. Carter. Catherine Caudill. Robert B. Chafin. Jason W. Chastang. Emily Elizabeth Cooney. Alicia Lukanyova Kormny. Alessandro Corona IV. Robert Charles Cummings III. Whitney Chisavengros. Kelly Lynn Dale. William B. Doherty. Corey Evancho Drushel. Rachel K. Dunlap. Matthew D. Dusing. Daniel M. Ebert. Thomas E. Edge. Russell T. Elliott. Zachary P. Elliott. Amy L. Erickson. Kathleen Farrow. Andrew J. Ferguson. Ronald T. Fitzpatrick. Robert A. Flores. Kurt R. Friedman. Michael Joseph Friedman. Justin L. Froge. Zachary Kyle Garrison. Andrew T. Garverick. Douglas A. Gastrite. Laura Andrea Gerner. Joseph S. Gillis. Jamie Lynn Glinka. William Gregory Gorman. Eric W. Greenberg. Morgan M. Griffin. Robert T. Grice. Jonathan M. Groppe. Jeremy J. Gubin. Brittany N. Gunther. Amanda S. Hesse. Heather J. Hodgson. Patrick K. Hogan. Wesley Allen Hunt. Amanda Johnson. Ricardo L. Johnstone. David Matthew Jones. Michael S. Kahan. Adam E. Kammer. Megan Elizabeth Kane. Altanok G. Kaya. Catherine Lynn Weisbrod Kelly. Sonia Z. Khan. Megan Elizabeth Kilkelly. Allison Sarah King. Christopher Joseph Klein. Alexander Koronowski. Elizabeth A. Kreider. Sarah A. Kroger. Eric P. Lightfoot. Alexis M. Loneman. Joshua Lowe. Lozano. Erin Catherine Lucas. Nicholas D. Merriman. Ryan M. Marshall. Jordan M. Maynard. Alexandra E. McClanahan. Sean Patrick McGee. Stuart P. Miller. Matthew E. Miller-Novak. Ian Douglas Mitchell. Ashley G. Morgan. Joseph K. Nevels. Andrew B. Niehaus. Owen Gregory Parsons. Brian M. Peeler. Jesse Philippe August. Lauren Michelle Poland. Keith A. Potter, Jr. Salvatore Privatera. Stephen Reed. Caitlin Lee Galloway Rice. Benjamin J. Riley. Jacob M. Roberts. Casey Michelle Robinson. Megan Elizabeth Salyers. Thomas Sauter. Ashton R. Sawyer. Jessica L. Schoenfeld. Lindsay Nicole Shepard. Kathleen S. Shields. Catherine A. Simone. Andrew P. Smith. Brandon G. Smith. Chad Ryan Smith. Zachary D. Southwood. Julie A. Stanifer. Kimberly Elizabeth Stevens. Michael J. Strunk. Aaron Webb Sutherland. Christopher A. Thomas. Rachel V. Triplett. Lauren M. Trondle. Raven N. Turner. John D. Tynes. Nicholas Charles Varney. Jonathan R. Vogt. Jamie M. Wagner. Blair Ulrich Ward. R. David Weber. Amy G. Weber. Sierra M. Williams. Perry Shibley Yeager. Sharon M. Yelton.
Ladies and gentlemen, the audience, I present to you the graduates of December 2012 and May 2013 of the Chase College of Law. Please join me in congratulating them.
Please be seated for just a few moments. Good evening, everyone. It is a privilege to serve as the president of Northern Kentucky University, and it's a pleasure to have just a brief opportunity to say a few words to our graduates. This is the third and final commencement exercise of today. We have conferred more than 1,600 degrees today. We are getting close to the end, or as they would say in the first Saturday in Louisville, down the stretch we come. I have an opportunity to say just a few thoughts to the graduates, but before I do, I want to express my appreciation to Dean Honeback. Dennis, I want to thank you for your service to our law school, for your service to our university, and for your service to the legal profession. You, in fact, personify the best of what is legal education and the legal profession, and so I wish you best wishes for continued success and very good health. Thank you, Dennis. And so now to you, the graduating class of 2013. As you know, you are part of a tradition of excellence that has long characterized this law school. There are 162 of you, including our December graduates. You have come to us from more than 57 colleges and universities across the country and around the world. 3 of you have graduated with joint degrees. 38 of you graduate with honors, 5 summa cum laude, 10 as magna cum laude, and 23 as cum laude. The cords that you wear this evening reflect your academic accomplishments. Many of you have helped publish one of our 2 law journals. 15 of you were involved in our outstanding moot court and trial advocacy programs, and many more of you were part of other student organizations and activities. In addition to your academic and extracurricular achievements, the members of this graduating class donated thousands of hours to pro bono activities and community service. Individually and collectively, you have worked hard and accomplished a great deal, and we are all very proud of you. For each of you, today marks an end, but it also marks a beginning. It is the end of your formal legal education and the beginning of your career as a lawyer. Whether you enter private practice or public service, or whether you use your law degree in business or in some other field, you will draw upon the legal training that you received and the skills that you have developed here. I'm confident that you are well prepared for the challenges and for the opportunities that lie ahead of you. As you embark upon your career, let me give you a few suggestions, if I may. Always remember that you must put your client's interests before your own personal self-interest. As a lawyer, that is your professional duty. But never forget that what your client wants you to do, and what the law permits may not always be the same thing. At all times, it is your ethical obligation to speak the truth and to obey the law, irrespective of your client's demands. Always remember that every case is important to your client. While a matter may seem routine or inconsequential to you, every case matters to your client. Commit yourself to excellence in every case, every day. Always remember that a lawyer's obligation is to serve both private interests and the public good. No matter how you choose to earn a living, please become involved in public service by providing pro bono legal services or volunteering with charitable organizations or civic associations. And please remember that as lawyers, we have another special obligation. We have an obligation to use our voice. This country was founded on the principle of equal justice for all. In addition to your professional responsibility to seek justice for your clients, remember that as lawyers, you also have a moral obligation to speak out against any injustice. Do not shrink from this obligation. Embrace it. Please also remember that within each one of you, there is some special motivation that brought you to our law school and which brings you to this place at this time. You have overcome many obstacles, and there are likely to be more challenges and some disappointments in the days ahead. So never forget the dream that brings you here. Whenever you feel discouraged, recall that professional aspiration, that dream. Pursue your own professional dream with an unrelenting passion. Our faith in a better future is dependent upon your commitment. Our future rests in your capable hands and is dependent upon the courage of your convictions. We believe in you. And finally, on a personal note, please never forget to show your affection and appreciation for your family and your friends, and for all of the other people in your lives who have helped you become the talented men and women that you are. Honor their gifts to you and repay the debt that you owe to them by sharing your talents and your good fortune with others who need your help. So in short, embrace service, value excellence, seek justice, pursue your dreams, and cherish your family and your friends. And so on behalf of the entire Northern Kentucky University community, good luck, best wishes. Thank you all very much.
Would you please rise now for the singing of our alma mater, led by Allison Evans, Harley Cooper, Seth Wayland, and Wesley Carman. The words of the alma mater are on the back cover of your program.
Northern, let your vision lead us, hearts of women, men, and youth. Help us seek the higher virtues, guide us to the greater truth. Northern, northern alma mater, May our lives enrich your name, and in time leave us your children, better far than when we came.
That concludes our commencement ceremony. Thank you for joining us this evening. Please remain standing while the platform party, faculty, and graduates leave the hall.